What happens when you decide to watch every horror movie in every horror franchise for the modern era? You start to reevaluate your life decisions. That's what happens. But we did it anyways, with the goal of pitting every franchise up against each other to once and for all determine which franchise is the king or queen of all horror franchises. The only rule we have is that the franchise must have at least 5 movies. It must of course be horror related, and it has to be from the 80s or more recent. Franchises that start out in the 70s but mainly goes through the 80s and newer counts. Starting out the whole shebang, we have the franchises that by far delivers the most boobs, sex, and gore. Wrong turn. We will be going through the franchise all the way up till the remake. Before we, at the end, look at the movie that started it all back in 2003, Wrong Turn itself. To finally answer the long-lost question, was this movie good enough to start a franchise consisting of 6 movies and a remake? One step closer to the end. Now it's time to check out Wrong Turn 4.
And the film opens in 1974 at the Glenville Sanatorium for the Mentally Ill. The cannibals from the previous film, One Eye, Three Fingers, and Sawtooth, we see how the cannibals escape as they kill a lot of people while doing it. And we fast forward. Okay, so hold your breath as we introduce this movie's characters. We have Kenya, we have the lesbian couple Sarah and Bridget, we have Lauren, Jenna, Claire, Carl, Vincent, and Daniel. On their way to their friend Porter's cabin, they take a wrong turn and is lost. There's a snowstorm blowing up and they have to take refuge at the old Glenville Sanatorium we saw from the beginning. The group of teenagers explore the asylum and decide to wait out the storm. The storm doesn't give and they have to spend the night in there. In the middle of the night, Vincent, suffering from insomnia, walks around the asylum and finds Porter's mutilated body. He's then killed by getting a metal rod into his chin and out through the top of his head. The next morning, everyone discovers they are snowed in, and Vincent is missing. The gang splits up to look for him, obviously, and Jenna witnesses the cannibals cutting Porter up. She runs back to tell the others, and they all meet up in the auditorium. There the cannibals present to them Porter's severed head, and they of course start screaming and panicking. The 3 cannibals up in the balcony throw down a strip of barbed wire and loops it around Claire's neck, pulling her up to the balcony and beheading her. The rest of the group tries to escape outside but find out that all of the wires for the spark plugs have been stripped, so they are trapped there. Lauren sets off on her own to ski down the mountain to retrieve help, and the other 6 runs inside with a plan of defending themselves. Daniel and Kyle leaves to go find more weapons, while Kyle remembering the room filled with knives and saws that he, Kenya, Claire, and Jenna found while they were searching for Vincent. The 3 are chased by one of the cannibals who is also wielding an axe, and they find a room filled with knives, locking themselves in and hide, waiting for him to pass. Back with Sarah, Kyle, and Daniel, they stock up with an arsenal of knives and other tools and run back to the others, but on the way Daniel is grabbed by the cannibals. As he is slowly and painfully eaten alive by the cannibals, Sarah, Bridget, Kenya, Jenna, and Kyle are discussing and voting over if they should go and help him or not. Finally, after a tough verdict, they vote to try and save him. Spoiler alert, they don't. The group then mans up and devise a plan of diverting the cannibals down to a cell where they end up locking them up. Kyle then decides the best course of action is to set the cell on fire and kill the cannibals. Kenya refuses, saying that they are not the same as them and that they are not killers. That convinces him to let them live, and while the rest of the group searches for the spark plug wires, Kyle was so convinced from Kenya's speech that he feels safe enough to fall asleep on guard duty, resulting in the cannibals escaping and capturing him. Kenya goes to check on Kyle and finds him and the cannibals gone. She runs back to the office with Sarah, Bridget, and Jenna, and the 4 girls decide to stay in the room until the morning. Then a person with a potato sack over their head, acting like he is missing a chromosome, comes towards them, and the girls are convinced it's one of the cannibals and decides to stab him 100 times in the back. I'm not even gonna mention how they 5 minutes ago couldn't kill the cannibals with fire, but now they are fine with driving a knife through the flesh of someone multiple times. Well, I just said it, but we will come back to this moment later. It turns out the chromosome short individual was Kyle and not a cannibal. Plot twist! The girls then encounter the 3 cannibals and are chased up in the attic. They find some old winter clothes and put them on to run back down to the main floor and try to escape through a window. The girls climb through the window and out in the snow, but Jenna, who climbs through last, doesn't make it and is killed. Kenya, Sarah, and Bridget runs away into the snow, pursued by the cannibals on the teenagers' snowmobiles. Bridget is captured but escapes using her knife to stab one of the cannibals in the arm. Bridget ends up being killed by one of the cannibals. Morning starts to come and it is revealed that Lauren had frozen to death just a few yards from the road. Loser! We then see the cannibals chasing Kenya on the snowmobile and Sarah hits him in the face with a log. The two then board the snowmobile and drive off into the snow, but then one of the most amazing moments in movie history happens, as the girl that just thought they had escaped the cannibals drive through a barbed wire, decapitating their heads flying through the air. Amazing. The end.
Shimmy.
Wow. So, Wrong Turn 4. I gotta say, like, out of the Wrong Turn franchise, this is one of the movies. Before we get into the movie, let's just get the obvious out of the way, and that is that we took a look at Wrong Turn 3 and 2, and we noticed that the quality was not the best, so we actually did reshoot it. So we're at a second time now ranting about this movie, and I can say I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either.
No, because there's a lot to break down with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say, so this is not a good movie. It doesn't have a good story. It doesn't have like any like redeeming factors. It has a lot of fun facts, but story-wise, this is a pooper scooper, and I feel like the only way of talking about this movie is breaking down the stupidity.
Yeah. But first, let's mention in every wrong turn, there's a slut. Slut.
That is true. That is true. But okay, I have a positive thing to say about this movie, because this movie doesn't really have a slut. Because in this movie, they're all sluts.
Yeah.
Because we can just say, like, it does the typical trope of starting with a sex scene.
Oh, yeah.
And not like just a sex scene, it's a double sandwich whammy jammy.
It was a 4B. But
Yeah.
they weren't like having a
It was the
orgy.
orgy. No.
You said orgy. Okay, but they were doing it in the same room. There you go.
Was it in the same room?
Yeah, they were on one side, and the couple was the boy and the girl was on one side.
Okay.
The double girl whammy
Yeah,
was on the
okay.
other side.
Well, slots. Okay, let's scroll back, because I have something positive to say.
Oh.
Because this movie didn't start with the sex. It did start with like a backstory where we saw the cannibals as kids. And I'm gonna be honest, I found that to be interesting. So when we watched this movie is called Wrong Turn 4 Bloody Beginnings. And then it started with like showing the kids, like the cannibals as kids in the mental institution. And I'm like, ooh, this could be interesting. Can we like, are we gonna see like how they started out?
Story.
Yeah. So I thought like Bloody Beginnings, kids. Oh, we're gonna get a backstory.
He was
no,
wrong.
that was like the first 10 minutes. Then we're back to the usual stuff. So, wow. Yeah, then we're back to the sex scene. And this movie has a lot of sex scenes.
It does.
And they are uncomfortable long.
Yeah, awkwardly long. Yeah.
But I do have a theory of why that is. So these movies, we know they are based on boobs, sex, and gore.
Yep.
And I think they do that as to compensate for bad writing and just bad movies. So if I calculated this correctly, and I'm a mathematician of sorts, I did calculate that 1 minute of sex equals 40 minutes of attention span.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, in movies like this, where there's quite a lot of sex scenes, that means this is a bad movie. And if it has, like, the more sex scenes it has, the worse the story is. So this one is bad because it's had a lot of sex.
I feel like because there is so much sex and like booby shots and stuff like that, they leave no room for a story to build.
No.
Because it's a lot of shots of that. Like, doom, doom, doom.
So okay, let's break this movie down to what it is. So there is so much stupid stuff happening in this movie, and I want to start with something that happens in the beginning. This is a minor one, but it's really weird because they sort of like break into the mental institution, and then they are in like the common room talking all together, and then they're talking about like, oh, should we go exploring this hospital? And then one of the guys,
the little guy, he's so cute and little.
He says that, like, when they say that, oh, we should go exploring, and he says like, oh no, that's trespassing.
They're already trespassing.
Do you understand the concept of trespassing? You're already trespassed. It's not like if you go and break into a house and the cops come and to arrest you, and you're like, no, but I was just in the entrance part. I didn't break all the way in. He's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, but his shortness kind of like allowed him to say it.
Then we have the stupidest scene in the movie, and maybe in the franchise. And that is, at some point, the teens, I don't know if they're supposed to be teens, but I'm just so used to
There's some
movies.
horny ass teens in. Shoot.
Yeah, but I'm just so used to like movies like this are supposed to have like teens, but people that play teens in these sort of movies are usually like, they look like they're in their 30s. So
that's true.
I don't know, but like the group of friends then,
Yeah.
they do manage to lock the cannibals inside a cell. And then,
Oh, you're going all the way forward now.
yes.
Yeah, so you skipped quite a lot then. Because, okay, so I'm gonna rewind back just a little bit, okay? And I just want to talk about how they would feel comfortable enough to sleep in the beds of the mental patients. Like, wouldn't you feel uncomfortable?
Yes, if you're asking me, yes. I would,
Yeah.
if I was in that situation, which I would never be because I'm not that stupid, I would have slept near the entrance as close as possible while still keeping warm.
Because they had like the benches and stuff like that. I'd sleep on the floor.
I'd sleep on the floor. I don't
I
care.
wouldn't even care either. But just thinking about them sleeping on those beds is like vomit worthy.
Well, yeah, that is true.
And then can we talk about what happened again when they found their other friend that was missing, and then they found him dead? What happened there again? Can we talk about
No,
that?
so one of the guys, Vincent, did find one of the friends that they were supposed to meet later, and he was dead, and he was killed. I don't know what
And that was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not the scene I'm talking about. Oh, now, never mind. The scene I want to talk about was when they all ran to the fucking, like, gym-like place, right? And the girlfriend gets her neck, caught in the little, was it rope or was it, like, made out of
I'm pretty sure it
wires
was barbed wire or
Barbed
something. There's
wires?
always
Okay.
barbed wire.
So, his girlfriend they wrapped her neck with a freaking barbed wire and they pull her up. And she's freaking like dying and bleeding. And the boyfriend, like, at first he tries to get her down. Okay, I understand that. But she's constantly bleeding down on his face and he's like...
He could at least closed his mouth.
He was taking a bath in her blood, basically.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like those herbal essence, you know, when they take a shower. Yes, moment.
What kind of fucked up commercials do you have back in America?
You never seen the herbal essence commercials back in the
With
day?
blood? No.
No, it wasn't with blood, but they're like, it's like a sexual moment of like orgasmic feel because the shower, the shampoo is so awesome. Yeah, it made me think of that because he was like just enjoying it. It felt it was really weird.
That is fucking weird.
You know, remember that scene though? We were both like,
Yeah, but
what's the
I felt like he was just screaming, and he was not enjoying the moment.
It looked like he was like doing that face.
Yeah, well, in that, okay, let's just continue on that then, because yeah,
Okay.
they panic and they all run out, and then they notice that they can't get out or get away, so they end up boarding themselves into a room before they split up, of course.
Yeah, the dumbest move in all horror movies.
Yeah, so then eventually they do catch what you refer to as the little guy.
Yeah, it was so
And-
sad.
And they start to eat him alive, basically. And while he is screaming, being eaten alive, the other friends are voting if they're gonna go save him or not.
Which was so stupid. Yeah, like, you're taking a vote whether or not to save your friend. He's fucking screaming, so of course, by the time you're done voting, he's gonna die. And it's so stupid when they finally decide to go down there. Oh my god. Like,
And actually, they
Ugh.
do say, like, because he's screaming, and then he stops screaming for just a
Yeah.
few seconds,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh no, but he's probably already dead.
no shit.
Jesus.
This one made me mad because he was a
Yeah.
little guy.
But now then, we are at the point where I was going.
Yeah.
Because after this, they get them back to, or down in the cell, lock them in, and then Kyle wants to kill them, set them on fire. Because at this point, they have killed 2 of their friends and eaten 1 of them. So I'd say, fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justice served.
Yeah, but then Kensia, who is in my top 3 stupidest people on film, she says, no, don't do it. You're better than them. We're not killers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, and she was very convincing though, because he said, okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't just say, okay, let's not do it. Also, when they went away to look for some spark plugs or whatever, he was so comfortable, he fell asleep on guard duty.
Yeah, the dumbest thing you can do while on guard duty is to sleep.
Yeah.
He will never guard for me ever.
Time out! I just realized another positive thing about this movie.
Oh.
Because I'm gonna say, especially compared to the movies that was previous, like 2 and 3, and the ones to come, the cannibals in this movie looks pretty damn good. There is
Oh, I remember you
specifically
saying
a scene when they're in the prison cell. We see a close-up of 3 Fingers. He looks pretty damn cool there, I'm gonna
I
say.
don't like 3 fingers.
No, I have a fun fact about 3 Fingers.
Oh.
But you'll have to wait. He's then kidnapped by the cannibals. And when the girls then are like inside the little room they're in, they all have knives now. And then they see a person with a bag over their head, running towards them. And they're like, that's gotta be a cannibal.
Yeah.
Let's fucking murder his ass. And they're like running after him while he's running with the back towards them, and
They
they
tackle him
they-
down and they stab the shit
they
out of him.
make him into a stew like
They
that.
did.
And this is the same people, or at least the same girl, Kensia, who I swear to God, 5 to 10 minutes earlier in the movie, told the group that we can't
We're
kill
not
them.
murderers. first.
So she's not okay with killing them with fire, which means that you wouldn't physically do it yourself. But she fucking stabbed that guy 100 times.
Yeah, yeah.
For me,
that made no sense.
if I was like her boyfriend or something, that would be a red flag for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
She likes the physical torture, not the...
Okay. And now we are basically just seeing people die, and
it's sad though that they killed off all the guys first.
yeah, they did kill all the guys first.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know. They're very what's the word I'm looking for? Man hater, woman world. I don't know.
That is
man hater though. Yeah.
because it's not like really noticeable. But
we noticed.
they killed all the guys first.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell did they do to the director or producer?
To piss them off. Don't know.
Huh. Well, and oh, I have a feeling I know why to some degree. I'm gonna get back to that.
Okay.
So at this point now, we're just seeing people die, and it ends up with just 2 people alive in the end. And now we come to the weirdest scene in this, and the most amazing scene. I'd say it's almost the most amazing ending of a movie ever. So we see the 2 lost girls, which is Kensia and Sarah. Sitting on a snowmobile, driving away, giggling, laughing.
Happy
They're just
as can
enjoying
be.
life. They don't care that they lost all their friends, lovers, friends, all of that. No, we're just like hee 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 hee.
We survived, they didn't.
And then all of a sudden, boom, off with their heads.
We like literally like looked at each other, we were slapping each other and laughing and just cheering them on.
It was
yeah.
an amazing ending.
It was. It
But
made us happy.
I did start to react, and you noticed that because
Yeah.
like when they were laughing, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he
But
was about to get angry.
Yeah, but I couldn't finish that train of thoughts because off with their heads.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because, don't get me wrong, I love the ending. But it feels like it was just the writers, like, just forgetting that, oh fuck, we didn't write an ending to this. We have 2 people still alive, and what is happening? And then they're just like, oh no, but they can drive into a barbed wire, dead. It just felt like very, like, abrupt and, like, not
So
planned.
suddenly,
I don't
yeah.
know.
A
So,
sudden death.
this is the first movie then in the franchise where everyone dies.
Yeah. You'll find yourself rooting more for the hillbillies than you would for the survivors in this one.
In this one, I would almost say so, because when we like this, the hillbillies, cannibals, whatever, in the other movies, they are kind of annoying, especially Three Fingers.
I hate Three Fingers.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, he giggled a little bit in this one as well,
Yeah.
but not as much as in other ones. But now I am gonna give you one fun fact, and now you have to pay attention, okay? So Vincent in the movie, which was one of the first ones to die, he didn't really do much. That's the person that found the guy in the beginning. He got stabbed through the head.
Okay.
So he was played by Sean Skeen, who also plays Three Fingers.
What?
Which is probably why they killed him off
So
early.
Oh.
And then you have Dan Skeen, his brother, playing One Eye, the other cannibal.
What?
Yeah.
Ah.
And One Eye is married to Kensia, the actress.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Steve and Dan Skeen, they are not really actors as well. They're stunt men and stunt coordinators.
Okay.
And they have actually worked on quite a lot of movies. Recently, they did some stunt work in Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
Oh, didn't really like that one.
Huh?
But yeah, no, I felt like that was okay, cool. Keep it in the family. Ah! I see what you did there. Oi. Ow! I think that's all I have to say about this, because this was bad.
Yeah, it was.
But I'm gonna say though that I do like that they did a different setting with a mental hospital and not like the woods as we have seen in like the 3 first ones.
Yeah.
So that's a nice change of scenery. But as for story, I don't think they cared for the story in this one. They just wanted to show the titties and the gore and the sex. So this is the weird thing. Like I thought this movie was horrible,
It was.
but it was okay. Like it's a movie. It's
It's something you throw in the background.
yes.
Don't need to watch it. Just
No.
listen and it'll annoy you enough.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about this one.
too.
I'll give it a pass, and let's hope the rest of them keeps up or keeps climbing in quality.